This is an update to Grays Lake District 46. Today we have Marshall and Paul back. What am I hearing about emails? What is going on?
Thanks for having us back, Carol. A lot has gone on since we were last with you. The day after we broke the story, there was a board meeting. They met to seat the newly elected school board members. There was a demonstration outside the board meeting. A large number of people with signs complaining about misuse of funds, about arrogance, about the fact that the board had planned not to seat the newly elected board members until the end of the meeting after they'd voted on a number of action items. So they were having their own little lame duck session. A great deal went on in that meeting. It was probably the most interesting public meeting I've ever been to. I counted 19 people speaking. All of them were critical of the board. And they just sat there and they took it. They sat there stone-faced. They didn't make any answer. They didn't make any denial. And they just sat there and took it. The press was there. It's been covered in the Grays Lake Patch online. It's been covered in the Daily Herald. It's been covered in the Tribune. The Tribune had a new story today discussing this situation, and it's ugly and it's getting uglier. We're hearing now that they're alleging that we made up the emails out of whole cloth, that we simply sat down in front of Microsoft Word and typed them out.
Emails that were made from Microsoft Word that were fabricated. How can you FOIA that? All of that is done through the Freedom of Information
This all came from District 30 in Northbrook. They can confirm what they gave to us. It was provided to their attorney.
All of the emails came from District 30. That's exactly the point. They all came from District 30. The FOIA request first went to our district, District 46, and only about 6 pages of documents came back, which calls into question why is it that District 30, where they were sent from, had 300 pages, and District 46 could only find 6. And now today, we're learning of other emails that are continuing to go out, email blasts that are going out to teachers and other school members, from the superintendent, trying to mitigate some of the information that's coming out in the press, trying to deny, trying to say that the emails are made up, trying to say that she did not receive a pay raise. But if you go to familytaxpayer.org, if you look at last year, it showed she made $187,000 last year. You go to familytaxpayer.org this year, she made $215,000. It's math.
Wow. And they're suggesting that these emails are fabricated. Is there an email lockdown, is what I'm hearing? They're really shutting down some of these emails?
Yes, they've set it up to where you cannot forward emails without them knowing about it, where you cannot even print emails without them knowing about it. And so they're wanting to make sure that they're locking down their information, that no one can, without being revealed, no one can anonymously tell anyone on the outside what's happening inside that school district. And what's happening, and we're hearing it under the table, is that they are telling some really easily disproved lies about us and about the information that we've revealed.
Who are they saying that are fabricating these emails?
Well, I mean, if you look at the newspaper articles and you look at the comment section, I mean, Mr. Jarrett, unfortunately, for being a good citizen and asking appropriate questions, he has been basically persecuted in the media. People calling him all sorts of horrible names. Anyone who's asking questions and basically saying, I want to hold you accountable. I want transparency of where my dollars are being spent. And I want to make sure that every dollar, as much as possible, that we do spend are being spent on our children.
I saw one of those commenters writing, all I hear about is the taxpayers. What about the kids? Well, what about the kids? They're taking the resources that we pay for our kids to get a good education. They're taking those resources and they're using them to benefit themselves electorally, financially, and professionally.
Right.
And it's a scandal. People should be ashamed of that. These administrators, they're using the teachers' unions. I don't believe most teachers want their unions to behave this way.
No, probably not.
And
we have sports
really
programs
amazing.
that are unfunded. We have a media center that is unfunded in Grays Lake. Last fiscal year, our media center was unfunded. Our libraries, unfunded. 2 schools, their sports programs in a deficit, and yet we are allowing resources to be misappropriated. That makes me angry as a parent.
As a parent, as a taxpayer, you know, I think that District 46 needs to be looked into further. I'm looking forward to more updates from you. And the schools are about the children and your tax dollars going for your children. Thank you. This is Carol Parisi reporting for Champion News.